somebody sitting down with us now. Who we got here?
Hi, this is Andrew with Happy Home Appliances.
Okay.
So we do like appliance repair, install, sales,
fantastic.
and preventative maintenance on appliances.
Awesome.
So to avoid customer paying so much money, we offer preventative maintenance to save them from a costly repair.
Okay, we got it.
Yeah, I want to know about this.
You said you were going through the list. I'm like, okay, repair, blah, 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 blah. And then you said preventative maintenance on appliances.
Yes.
Can you please expound on that? What does that even look like?
So preventative maintenance is anything from like, let's say for your refrigerator, like a lot of people don't know that you have to, vacuum your condensers out and clean out, to make sure that it doesn't overheat or cause your compressor to like overwork. You want to make the life of your appliances last longer. And so cleaning out the condensers or your ice makers, they build up slime, all of that good stuff. So, having clean ice is something everybody wants, changing out your filters, all of that too. If you don't change out your filter, it can clog out your line inside your refrigerator. And then at that point, you're repairing something, that could be prevented.
Absolutely.
Or like your washer, it stops drying as well. It's because probably like your vent is probably clogged and your washer's not venting properly. So that's also something that can cause your dryer to fail.
We knew what you meant. If your washer is drying, then we definitely have issues.
Yes.
Right? We got problems.
Yeah, so just those things to keep up the maintenance of your appliances. That's something that we do. We do the preventative maintenance on it. Refrigerators, what is it called? Your dryers, even your washers. Cleaning out the drains. Your dishwashers, all of that good stuff, just to extend the life of your appliances.
I got to tell you, one of the grossest things my wife ever had me do was to clean that filter on the washing machine.
Oh.
At the bottom?
Yes. That was the nastiest smelling,
It's awful.
grossest look. When you especially like if you're an idiot like me and didn't know that it needed to be cleaned on a regular basis.
Yes.
Preventative maintenance, right? And it's just been building up and building up and building up for like 2 years. You pull it, it's just the most wretched, stinky thing.
Yeah. Well, our guys will do it. We'll do the dirty job for you.
All right. Well, let me ask you this. So, do you have a plan? Is it a month, like twice a year? What is? I mean, because people know if they listen to our show at all, they know you need to do preventive maintenance on your air conditioning system,
right?
Yes.
You need to get someone out there twice a year to take care of everything.
Yes.
And there's other things, right? I mean, pest control, you got to do that quarterly. There's a lot of things that you do preventatively that people that you're built in. To do that because your uncle told you to do it or whatever. But do you all have plans where you come out and how often? I just want to know more.
Yes. So we do have plans. We do have plans for different plans. Just depends on, the necessity and what exactly you have. But we do offer 3-month plans. So every quarter, again, it just depends on the type of appliances that you have, if it's just standard refrigerators and washers and dryers and dishwashers, then it's usually a 6-month plan because your filter only has to be replaced every 6 months. If you use the water filter a lot, or your ice maker a lot, then it's recommended every 3 months. But that's if you're using it a lot. Right. If you're just using it normal, then every 6 months. But so we do offer those plans on our website. We do have the different plans, and you can pick, and it's automatic. We send a technician out there, and they take care of it for you without you even having to worrying about remembering, because we forget that stuff. It's so
I do.
Yes, exactly.
I already forgot.
So we just schedule it on a regular basis. You don't have to worry about it. We call and remind you. We send you an email to remind you, and then our technician does provide you a notice. But when he's on his way to your home, and he takes care of it for you. So it's all.
I'm in love with this right now. I'm sitting here thinking this is amazing.
Yeah.
I want. So let me just run the scenario.
Mm-hmm.
So say I have French door refrigerator, dishwasher, washer dryer. What am I looking at to pay to have you guys come out every quarter?
Just pulling up the website right now. Well, because those are typically the 4, right?
Those are the big 4, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And your dishwasher, we also do clean out the filter and clean out the drain too.
The trap
because,
and everything?
Yes, because a lot of times you can get a lot of debris just stuck inside your drain pump, and that could cause your drain pump to fail. So we do the dishwashers as well.
And I want to I'll put this caveat out there. No one's going to hold you to this price We just want to know what, in general.
I need an idea so that when I tell my wife tonight that we need to do this, she's going to ask.
Yeah.
Right?
How much does it cost?
How much does it cost? And I'm going to tell her it doesn't matter. It's worth it.
Because I don't want to do
that peace of mind is definitely worth it. We take the worry out of your hand.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Like, whenever you buy an appliance, they're going to tell you it should last this long. Mm-hmm. Whatever that number is. And that number is based on the fact that you're actually maintaining it.
Yeah. Yes.
If it goes out before then you're going to this piece of crap. Like, it says it's supposed to last 15 years. It only lasted 4.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, because you didn't do anything. You never changed the filter.
It's like a car. It's like if you buy a brand new car and you never change the oil and you drive it so many miles and the motor goes out, that's not because it's a crappy car. That's because you're crappy maintenance.
You're a crappy owner.
Exactly right.
Yeah. So we do have the plan that starts at $45 a month, and that's semi-annual visits. So that does include the ice maker cleaning, the refrigerator coils vacuum, your dishwasher cleaning, and you get free appliance diagnosis. So whenever the technician goes out there, he makes sure that everything is working fine, so you don't have to pay a service call when he goes out there. And if anything needs repairs, 10% off of your repairs.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's...
so that's
what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, exactly. So you said that was refrigerator and dishwasher.
Dishwashers, yes.
So it's a different plan for a washer and dryer.
Yes,
is that right?
For the washer and dryer, I believe everything, the washer, dryer...
You said it's $45 a month, so you pay it monthly, but you get it for 6 months.
Every 6 months, yes. If you do the ice maker cleaning, the refrigerators, the dishwashers, garbage disposal, and your dryer and washer and dryer, that's $60 a month.
Oh, so it's another $15.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't have a garbage disposal at our house because we're on a septic, so we don't do that. But
what all does it include? So it changes all the filters, cleans all the stuff out. What am I missing?
You get the appliance inspection, which checks all the appliances to make sure that they're working to factory specs, right? You get your ice maker cleaning, refrigerator coils vacuum, dishwasher filters clean, your garbage disposal clean, your dryer vent cleaning, that's the vent that goes to the outside of your home, the washer cleaning to the bottom of that, $10 off of any service, and then 1 free service call a year. So if in the event any of your appliances fail, our service call is usually $95 just for the trip of the technician going out there. Yeah. You get 1 free service call for any of your appliances if it fails, so they go out there and service.
If you're the monthly subscriber.
Yes, exactly.
Very cool.
This is brilliant. Brilliant. Look, we've been doing this for a while at this point, and we've talked to appliance people.
Sure.
In fact, we have one sponsoring the show today. And maybe they do this. I'm curious if they do. We'll have to ask them.
We'll have to ask, yeah.
But I've never heard of appliance maintenance service.
Yes.
I've never heard of that.
Broken up into monthly. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's brilliant.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely came up with the idea because whenever I became a homeowner, I went from before... when I split up with my ex, he used to take care of all of it. Like, he used to take care of, like, the lawn care, the pest control. And when I became a homeowner by myself, I was getting letters from the HOA like, oh, you haven't cut your grass. And I'm like, I forgot to call a guy. And, or I would get, like, ants. And I'm like, I forgot to call the pest control. So I was like, if only there was, like, a service, or my fridge cleaning and all of that stuff. I was like, I need... like this, I'm so busy. I need something on a schedule, where I don't have to be reminded. I don't have to remember to call somebody. It's just on a schedule, and somebody who's going to take the worry off of my shoulders and just come out and take care of it. Like, just come out and take care of it. Like, I have to pay for it. It's something that I end up having to pay regularly anyway. Just come out and take care of it. So then, we came up with this, and it's been amazing. I mean, because we literally, like, save people so much money because we extend the life of your appliance, and we take the worry off of you, so it's not, so you're not having to remember every single time, and you're not having to pay for expensive repairs that could be avoided.
Well, and on top of that, I mean, like, we recently had a washer go out, and by the time you find out that your washer goes out, to the time you go look for a new washer, figure out, okay, because we called the appliance repair, and it was going to be a motor, so it was going to be very expensive to repair. It really wasn't worth it. So then we had to go buy a new one, and they had to ship it, and they had to put it in. It was like over a week that we were without a washer. And I'll tell you right now, for some of you out there, you're going, well, I don't do laundry every week. We have to do laundry every week in my house.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm going and doing what I said earlier and buying new underwear because I don't have any more, right? So, like, I think that the thing that what you're saying is that you can prepare people just like you would with your air conditioning unit. Like, whenever Jehu comes over and does my air conditioning service, he tells me, hey, Kevin, you need to maintenance this, or you need to do this, and this preventative maintenance, go ahead and get it done, and so we'll do it. Or he'll say, Kevin, this is like on its last leg, man. Like, he did this with my last house. He was like, you've got maybe another year in this, okay? I can do everything I can, but it's going to go out probably by the time next summer hits. Mm-hmm. Well, that gives me time. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm prepared, I'm aware of it, and I know. And
say your goodbyes.
Yeah, exactly. So you're not just surprised whenever, something goes out and it's like, well, this piece of junk 4 years.
Yes, exactly. And whenever we do the preventative maintenance, when we do the appliance the diagnostics, we do make sure, and we let y'all know in advance, hey, your pump is weak, or you might want to start planning for replacement and stuff. So yeah, it is
awesome.
Exactly.
I love it.
All right, so I got to ask you a question that I know everybody listening and watching wants me to ask, and so I'm going to ask it in a way so that you don't get in trouble.
Okay.
All right.
This is beautiful.
So you think I can do it?
I don't think so.
Okay. What is the brand of appliance that you do the most amount of repairs on?
It depends on the type of appliance, because... Do
you want me to go through it?
Well, because there's like...
So, like, let's go refrigerator.
The reliability on, like, refrigerators, the brand that, like, is the most reliable in refrigerators is not the same as, like, washers and dryers,
right.
So
which brand of refrigerator do you do the most repairs on? In your experience?
Probably LG.
Probably LG. Okay. Okay.
Or Samsung, I think.
Okay, Samsung or LG.
Yes.
Are those the same company?
No, they're not.
They're both Korean though, right?
They're not the same company. I don't know if they're both Korean though. So
I know LG is.
You looking at me? I don't know.
Which brand?
They're both Asian.
Which brand of dishwasher do you do the most repairs on?
That's... I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of like what brand like I do the most repair on dishwashers.
It's a tough one.
Yeah, I think it's dishwashers. We service so many dishwashers. I really don't think there's like a
okay.
All right. What about washer and dryer?
Washers and dryers, the most repair.
I want to be clear. We're not asking which one is the worst brand. We're just asking
the one that has the most
from her
repairs.
experience, which one has had the most repairs done.
Yeah.
I would say probably LG's on washers and dryers. Yeah.
Okay.
So we have pretty good, like the ones that like we see like are like the best, that are like long lasting.
Yeah.
Whirlpool.
Okay. Is this washer dryer or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Whirlpool are usually like the ones that, customers are like, oh, this is my 15-year-old Whirlpool,
Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So.
Well, they now own Maytag.
Yeah.
So
do they? Wow.
They do. Yep.
Okay.
So, but if it's an old Maytag, it's not theirs.
No, it's not.
Yeah. So is there a refrigerator that you would just be shocked that you got a call to come repair, a brand that you're aware of?
The Sub-Zeros.
Oh yeah, that'd be the one.
That's the ones.
That's what I was gonna say.
Well, I mean, we do get Sub-Zero calls, but they're like 15-plus-year-old units.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
that's kind of what we've heard. Is like it's like people are like shocked when they haven't had a problem with them 20+ years.
Yes.
But like it's kind of the norm.
Yes. I mean, number one, they are built to last. Number two, they cost like they are built to last.
Yeah.
Well, sure, but I mean, whenever you're paying, for just a minute, let's mention that. I mean, if you're paying $10,000, $12,000 for a refrigerator,
and I think they're more than that now.
I think, well, it depends on what you get. Mm-hmm. Probably between 12 and 20.
Yeah, I think so.
Most likely. Or you can go buy a $2,500 one at Home Depot. Which one do you think should last longer? And they do, and therefore, not only do they last longer, you can go listen to the episode that we did on it. Not only do they last longer, they keep your food fresher for longer, which means you're throwing away less food, so you're saving money on that end. In long term, the investment is worth it if you can stomach it. That's just what it boils down to.
Yeah, we had a Sub-Zero rep on the show, and we grilled him. We're like, why is it this expensive? And he gave us really good answers.
That's awesome. I got to go back and listen to that episode.
It was good. It was a good one. Yeah, it was a good one.
No.
That's awesome. I'm really glad we talked to you.
If people need their appliances repaired or they want to get on your maintenance program, how do they get a hold of you?
Just go to our website, happyhomeappliances.com.
Okay.
And that all of our services are there because not only do we offer the maintenance program, but we do offer one-time service too. So if you just want your dryer vent cleaning, that's the only thing that you need done, we just offer you, we can go out there just to go do that. If you just want your coils clean, we can go out there just to do that. If you want your filter changed, we can just go out there just for that.
Yeah.
If you just want like a one-time deal. But if you do want to go on a program where it's a routine and you don't have to worry about it, we offer that on our website and happyhomeappliances.com.
Fantastic.
Perfect.
Yes.
Well, thank you for coming on.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure getting to speak with you.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. It's been really good.
Yeah, have a good day.
All right.
You have a good one.
Bye-bye.
There you go, bud. You gonna sign up?
Probably.
It's like, I don't want to do it.
Well, no. and like, there's a couple other questions that I have. Like, do they provide the filters?
I'm sure they do.
Or, like, because the filters are expensive.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, like, especially those refrigerator filters, they're like $50 a piece.
Yeah.
You know?
Are you talking about like the water filters?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if they're providing those, I mean, that's something else you don't have to pay for.
Not only that, they can be a booger to put in.
They are, man. They really can be.
And you have to like soak them and...
I don't even know what the one is in mine. I don't even know.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like,
it took me a while to find ours too.
I mean, we bought it came with the house. Right? So we bought the house. It came with it. It's a good refrigerator, but you know, it's one of those deals where it's like we gotta. I don't even know where the filter is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to find it.
Oh, look who this is.
I think I know this person. I think we know her.
Yeah. What's going on, Amy? Just got to get the headset on.
Yeah, get the headset on. That way she can
I'm
hear
back.
us. Hello. Welcome back.
Thanks.
How are you?
I'm great. It's been a busy day.
She's getting comfy.
Good. Have you sold some houses?
3 in the past 24 hours.
Wow. Good
Nice.
for you. Congratulations. That's awesome. We probably could talk to her for a long time about all this because we've been talking about some stuff.
We've been fighting.
As usual.
Yeah.
That's so true. It's like she listens to the show or something. Well, I mean, it's not like, honestly, even at this point, like, I mean, here we are just 3 months into the year, and like we made predictions at the beginning of the year, and like both of ours are slightly wrong. And so, like, it's kind of at this point, it's like, man, this real estate stuff, which is what you do, by the way.
The Lampman team.
The Lampman team. It's all over the place. It feels like, well, it should be doing this, but then this happens, and so then a bank goes under, and the rates don't change, and you thought they were gonna, and all these things are happening. Wow, how do you keep up with it all? That's what I want to know.
Well, I would say what's really, really important is to have relationships with various groups of people. Because when a market goes into a downturn, there's one very specific group of people that come out of the woodwork and they want to buy like crazy. So the realtors that are not struggling, they're people that have money. And whether it's I'm going to buy a house and pay cash for $1 million home, or I'm an investor and I want to buy 4 houses for cash.
Yeah.
So I happen to work with a lot of investors. I got started with them 8.5 years ago on accident. I called a Freebo sign.
Oh.
And you're like, what's a Freebo? For rent by owner. And I called him and simply said, I was trying to be witty, and I said, hey, I noticed your home is for rent. Would you consider selling? And he goes, well, how much are you paying? And I said, well, I'm not paying, but if I could sell it for $190,000, would you consider selling it? And he goes, yes, ma'am. If you can sell it for $190,000, sold. That's my first listing that went in the ground. And he was my first investor. And then from then on, I was like, maybe I should talk to more investors.
Yeah. No, I know investors are usually sitting on cash. I mean, like, and they're looking to move. If they're not sitting on cash, they have access to cash.
They know people that do.
Yeah. and they're looking to move property.
Well, and what's interesting about where we live is there's a lot of people in gas and oil that when the downturn happened a few years back, right before COVID, what they did was they took early retirement and they took lump sums of cash, and it's sitting in a bank account somewhere.
Yeah.
And now they're bored and they're like, what can I do to make my lump of cash turn into more cash?
Right. Yeah.
And so out of boredom, it's creating new jobs, basically, because they're creating jobs for people that are doing the renovations, putting on the roofs, putting the new ACs.
Yep.
They're buying fixer-uppers. And they're also building out portfolios for more passive income to entertain themselves.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, those are some of our clients that like they literally retired, they got bored, and they decided to become landlords. And they're like, well, I don't want to mess with all the problems that most landlords have, so I'm just going to pay to have everything taken care of. And so they're actually doing like luxury rentals to a certain degree because they're providing services to their clients that most other landlords don't. And so you attract a higher level of clientele, and so like these guys are having fun, honestly.
And my theory is if you connect with a few of them, so you have a little book of business, and then you have really consistent behaviors, you can create duplication. So I feel like real estate's very predictable in an unpredictable market. So I'm the odd realtor. I'm like, I think real estate's great. I don't know what the rest of y'all are talking about. I sold 3 houses in the past 24 hours.
Yeah. I mean, if I can do it.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Well, I mean, I do think, and I've talked about this several times on the show, I think a lot of it is, you had so many Johnny-come-latelys during the pandemic that were like, oh my gosh, real estate's so hot, like I can sell a house. And so like you had this massive influx of agents, right? That now they're all dropping out.
They're dropping like flies.
Yes, they are. But I mean, like if you've been in it for a while and you have any sort of success, it's like, well, okay, I'll just wait them out. And then pick up their listings.
Yeah,
that they could have had.
Yeah, it's just the market. Here's what I think that is so odd about what has happened over the last let's just say 4 years, is that I think that the market has done so many things up, down, left, right, like whatever you want to call it, that homeowners and potential homeowners, they don't know what to do. Like they just don't know, like, should I wait? Should I buy? Should I sell? Should I hold? Should I rent? What is it? What is it should I do? And I think like that's one of the things that a good realtor can walk in and help just kind of level the playing field and go, look, here are your options. You do this, or this, and I can help you with it, And
well, I will say real estate took a big just mental flip after COVID, because when you're stuck in your home and with your kids and your dogs, all of a sudden you realize you need more space. You have to have a home office. You have to have a game room. And those spaces become so much more important. We also have a larger market now for people that work from home, whether it's part-time or full-time. They have that dedicated office space. So now people are wanting to move, not just because I want a different house. They're like, I need an office.
Need more space.
I have to have an office. So we're selling for different reasons.
Yeah.
And what I would say is, no matter how high the interest rates are, there are always solutions. You just have to be a really good problem solver and speak to experts. So one of the things I coach my agents on is connecting with expert vendor partners. When you have expert vendor partners, they're going to create solutions because guess what? Lenders want to sell houses, right? They're not realtors, but at the end of the day, I mean, what are they doing? They're either refining, which no one's refining right now because the rates are so high,
right? Or
they are just doing all different types of loans. And so because the shift happened last June is when it started, my phone stopped ringing and I saw it coming. I told everyone in my office, I'm like, be prepared. It's coming. When my phone stops, that's a problem. But the good news is there's always a solution. You just have to figure out where are the solutions, who to connect with, who are those experts.
Yeah.
And one thing that we've really trended to switch to right now, especially for younger buyers, is look towards new construction. Because what people don't realize is builders buy loans in bulk. So even if interest rates right now are 7 or 7.25, they bought bulk rates in the 5s months ago and are holding them. And they have this lock on them, and people don't realize that. So,
that's interesting.
And
I've never realized that.
Yeah.
Well, not to mention the fact that a lot of these new construction homes are every bit as affordable or more affordable than some other homes that are available. You know?
I agree. But at the same time, the challenge with new builds is they're brand new infrastructure, which means your mud and your RUDs and your tax rates are through the roof.
Yeah.
So they're more reasonable in one way because they'll give you all kinds of deals. They don't want to hold on to their houses, the spec homes.
Exactly.
But if you can find a home that's listed in a good neighborhood and actually have your realtor have a conversation with the listing agent and say, look, I can't handle a 7% interest rate, but if you could give me credit, it's line 12B1 of the contract. That credit on that line can go towards buying down interest. Several percent. You can do a 3-2-1 buy down or 2-1 buy down. And people just don't realize. So really right now what we've been doing is really trying to inform the market and say, put the knowledge and information and that's the reason when you said interest rates are going up, but we're seeing craziness in the market and the banks are going under. The craziness in the market is people don't know what to do. The solution comes and then all of a sudden people are like, oh, I can buy now.
Yeah.
I didn't think I could buy for the last 90 days. And now my lender says I can get a 5% interest rate if I can get a 2% contribution from the listing side. So people simply need more knowledge.
Yeah.
Previous school teacher, so I'm all about the knowledge.
No, that's helpful. And I think that's exactly what I was trying to say earlier is like, if you don't know what to do, but you need a change, whatever the change is and whatever the reason is, I don't really even care what the reason is. If you don't know what to do, then find someone that does. And I think that this is the challenge, because I think what happens so often is that so many people find who they use as a realtor based on someone else that they know who bought from a realtor, right? So, my friend over here, Susie, she sold me my house. It's like, okay, great, I'll use her. Well, Susie may not know what she's talking about. She may be a great friend and wonderful person, but she doesn't know how to get you what you actually need. And so I think it's important as a home buyer or a seller, you need to really do your research. Find someone who actually is knowledgeable and has been doing it for long enough that they've kind of seen the trends happen and those sorts of things. And so that's honestly one of the things that from the beginning that I loved about your team is that they seem to do that very well. So it's good.
Well, I think it's really important to surround yourself with people that have more knowledge than you. And if you're one of the most knowledgeable people, to share that knowledge so they have that wealth going into it. It is very important in this type of market to interview your realtor. If you're not interviewing 3, you're doing a disservice to yourself, because typically a home purchase is someone's largest acquisition of their life.
Right.
I mean, what are you going to buy that's bigger than a house?
Yeah.
Most people can't afford to buy a building.
Yeah,
That's right.
So on that, because I think you're a good person to answer this question. If you were interviewing a real estate agent, what would be the questions? Because I think that's great advice. Like, interview the people that you want to work with, but then like, what kind of questions do you ask them? So what would be like maybe like top 3 questions you would ask a real estate agent if you were interviewing them to use them?
Number one thing I would ask them is, how well do you know this area?
Okay.
So if I'm going to shop in the Woodlands, how well do you know the Woodlands? And if they live in Baytown, I would say, okay, that's going to be a little bit of a struggle because you probably don't know the Woodlands very well. And then I would say, I would ask them, how many contracts have you been in transaction with? And the reason why is because if they've been in with maybe 1 or 2, there's nothing wrong with rookies. I love rookies. My team is filled with them. But they do need to have somebody that's mentoring them, because when you're a rookie, you don't realize there's so many litigious parts of our contract that if you don't understand them, you can get yourself in trouble or you can get your client in trouble. Yeah. And there's things that you can miss. And they really need to have somebody that has a lot of experience working alongside them if they're new. So
how many contracts would like an agent have to be at for you to go, okay, this person has done enough, they know what they're talking about? Is there like a threshold for you?
I would say, if you've done 100 contracts, you're probably good.
Okay.
I've probably written about 1,500.
Okay.
So when you ask me on the contract, I can tell you pretty much what paragraph is what.
Yeah. I would imagine after 1,500. Yeah.
So one of the contracts that came in today, sweet agent, but there were several errors on it. And I said, oh, this agent must be new. So it's funny because I can tell by the way they write contracts that they literally just haven't been taught. But I actually teach contract writing. Okay. So there you go. My passion is to help people have that knowledge so they can really have a good experience. So I think the geography, making sure they know the location.
For sure, yeah.
And then second of all, their transactional experience. Mm-hmm. And then third, I would look at their broker. And the reason why is because if you're with a really, really tiny brokerage, the problem with that is they're not going to have the backing for even more knowledge if there was any reason you had to go to a broker. If you're with a large company, so I'm with a very large company. We have 87,000 agents. Right. Which means I can ask probably 100 different brokers questions. Uh-huh. Right? So it helps. It's just another level of knowledge. If I'm listing a home, I can market it much greater than somebody that has a tiny brokerage, because the way it works when you're listing a home is it has a push to about 120 secondary websites. EXP has what's called syndicator. Mm-hmm. So our syndicator pushes to an additional 650 to 700 websites at any given time. And we have in-house buyers, in-house lending, which gives you opportunities to have better pricing. Right. So would you rather your home go on 100 websites or 700? Sure. Right? So, yeah. But if you were a seller and you didn't ask that question, you're going with a little brokerage of someone who has done 2 deals, then you're getting baby marketing. Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's the difference. Okay.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah. I think those are good questions. Yeah. The other thing that I would do, and this is I think this is true of every person that you engage with in business, is I'm going to stalk them on all social media. Oh yeah. And I'm going to see how this person behaves when they think nobody else is looking.
Have you stalked me?
Oh yeah. I do, and I don't know if you do. I stalk everybody that comes on the show. Yeah. Like at events like this, that was the first time we met last time. And so, after the show, I was like, "Who is this person? What does she do?" And I'm gonna go through. I'm gonna figure out everything that I can about you, just so I know.
Well, because you've made it available.
Yeah. Well, not only that. I mean, honestly, it's going to, part of what we do is we help promote other people. Yeah. And the way that you behave on social media is going to change the way that I promote you, or if I promote you.
I love that.
Yeah. We've had a couple recently even that we're like, okay. That's gonna have to not be something that's not okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you something fun that you guys can promote. Okay. It's our newest event that we're going to be co-sponsoring. It is the Texas Boys Outdoors Crawfish Boil and Bash. Okay. It's on May 13th at Conroe Lake House. Okay. 2 to 7 p.m. I brought you guys an invitation. I should have brought it over here. Yeah. But the neat thing about it is Texas Boys Outdoors. Mm-hmm. They have a TV show, and actually their 8th season just got picked up by Amazon Prime. Okay. And they are Montgomery County boys that love to give back to veterans, first responders, and children. Okay. So they take them out on basically expeditions, hunting, fishing, anything you can imagine in the outdoors, and they give them experiences and teach them how to do things that Texas boys would do.
Why am I not friends with these guys?
Exactly. I mean, seriously, you guys should have them on the podcast.
Yeah, no doubt.
But they've just asked me to be a board member, which is pretty awesome.
Congrats. Very cool.
Because we like to raise money for the cause. Yeah. So their next event, like I said, May 13th at Conroe Lake House. We have a band called Not the Rachels playing. Okay. We're going to have crawfish, prizes, silent auction, live auction. And I'll give you guys one cool hint. Okay. The raffle is a chance to get on the TV show.
Ooh. Oh, nice.
Like that.
No doubt.
Yeah. That's actually right by my house.
Is it?
Yeah.
On 105?
Yeah, mine too. We're both pretty close to it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, mark your calendar then. It's the day before Mother's Day.
Okay.
All right.
And it's family friendly, so you can bring kids, significant others.
So are they providing those experiences for free?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yes.
I mean, that's awesome. But
that is awesome.
I'm here for it.
For free.
No doubt.
They do helicopter hunts. They do saltwater redfish. I've seen them on Lake Conroe. I mean, they go out. They're taking Shriners kiddos out on this Sunday. A little boy that was born with just a lot of life struggle, and his dream is to go fishing. Okay. When those kids get off the water, there's nothing like seeing a child that's watched, adventure shows get to become in part of the adventure.
Yeah.
There's just nothing greater.
That's awesome.
So we actually need to speak off air about this, since because I think there's a way that we can get a lot of funding for another area that they could be serving, a very specific area. But we need to talk about that off air.
Okay.
I don't want to put that on you right now.
Okay. I like it.
Anyway, we definitely need to talk about that, because that's super cool. That stuff, I love that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
I love it when they take young men out and actually, introduce them to the outdoors, get them away from screens, and, put a fishing rod in their hand, put them on a boat, put them in the wilderness. I mean, that's what we've been doing this weekend. Kevin and I, we've been camping for the last 2 days.
Oh.
And our family is still camping, but we came to do the show.
Yep. Here we are. We're going to be there
We're
for
a little tired.
Well, yeah. We'll be all right.
Yeah.
So you need to follow them on Instagram and Facebook.
Okay.
Okay, because it's impressive what they do. They post pretty much daily, and they'll show you their live action experiences. But it's pretty incredible. They started the philanthropy, I believe, 8 years ago.
Okay.
And so
I'm going to entice them by tagging them in a clip of this video.
Absolutely.
do it.
Well, then get them on the show. There's no reason not to.
Yeah. We'd love to.
Yep.
I mean, right across the highway is our studio.
Yeah. It is.
Well, I can get Texas Roy there.
Okay. Let's do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he lives out in Montgomery. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where I live. So
awesome. Well, anything else cool going on in your world?
Let's see.
That's pretty exciting being a board member. Is it your first board position?
No.
No? What other ones do you do?
Let's see. I used to be on the board of Rotary.
Okay.
Yeah, I was on that board. And this is my second position.
Okay. Well, I mean, Rotary's cool and all, but this one's really cool.
Well, I think...
Not to talk bad about the Rotary Club.
No, Rotary's great, but what I love about this one is it's local.
Yeah.
And because I'm a local business owner, my husband's a local business owner, we've always tried to support local small businesses.
Yeah.
Everything we do, I'm always going in and saying, where's the local coffee shop? Who owns the new steakhouse?
Yeah.
I love anybody that's an entrepreneur, just to kind of give them an extra pat on the back. And these guys are local philanthropists and with a passion for the outdoors. Put their passion together with things that they care about, like veterans, first responders, and children. There's just nothing greater.
For sure. So is your husband also in real estate?
My husband is licensed, but he actually, his day job is medicine.
Medicine?
Yeah,
Okay.
he owns a clinical research consulting firm.
Cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Is it like one particular area that he's researching, or does he have like multiple areas that he's...
Well, when you say areas, you mean geographic?
No, like areas like...
Of the body?
No, like particular areas of medicine that he's studying, like, or researching.
So he studies trials. So on each trial, you have different indicators based on whatever.
You're talking about like drug trials? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So it might be like hypertension or migraine headaches or otitis media,
Okay.
which is ear infections, or it might be, last year he was studying uterus, like uterine cancer. He's like, I know way too much about your uterus, Amy. I'm like, I do not need to know that. So we have some funny conversations.
Yeah.
But he has studied everything. He's been in the business for 27 years.
Wow.
So head to toe, he knows what's inside us. It's kind of
Yeah.
scary.
Has he always been a researcher?
He always has been a researcher.
That's cool.
So I always joke with him and say, you play a doctor on TV. Because he knows more than most doctors. Most doctors know about their one specialty, but because he's had his specialties change from year to year.
Yeah.
So sometimes he's studying oncology for
Yeah.
2 years straight, and he'll learn everything about oncology. Sometimes he's studying dementia for 3 years straight. Well, then he learns everything about the brain and how just all these different effects on the brain.
Yeah.
So it's really pretty incredible. One year he studied contact lenses.
Huh.
So
Interesting.
yeah, we'll have to have him on the show one time. He's pretty cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm down. Totally down.
For sure. I'm here for it.
There's
Cool.
another guy you need to have on your show.
Who's that?
His name is Jake Lampman. He's our son,
Okay.
and he's a really cool entrepreneur. He started his company at the age of 17.
Okay.
Wow.
He's now 21. He has a full-time crew of 6 guys, and they go around and do renovations from bathrooms to kitchens to whole house remodels.
Okay.
He's helped me flip 52 homes
There you go.
in the past 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So he's a pretty cool kid to talk to because
Sounds like he's if you watch you in real estate, he was like, "Oh, I'll just start this, and I can get the leads from mom."
There you go. That's right.
Well, he gets the leads, but he has to actually prove himself.
Sure, yeah.
I'm super.
Well, I mean, if he's done 52 of them, I assume he's not doing a bad job.
No, he does a great job.
Yeah.
But it's neat because he's 21, but I'm pretty sure on the inside he's like 35.
Yeah.
He's one of those kids.
Well, if he started when he was 17,
Yeah.
He started his first company when he was 11. But his third company at 17. And his third company is the big one, the one that runs a multi-million-dollar renovation company.
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
So, and the neat thing about that is one of my realtors that's on the team actually helped him graduate high school.
Wow.
Because he's one of those kids, he was not into books. He was into very kinesthetic. He wanted to touch and feel and build and he could take part in anything. So he's one of those kids that you're like, everybody loves Jake. He's just cool.
Well, and we've talked about this on the show several times. School is not built for everybody.
Nope.
And it's not for everybody.
Nope.
So, and like my son who just turned 10, I mean, he told us when he was 7, he's like, I'm not going to college. I'm like, that's fine, dude. He's like, what do you want to do? I want to run your business. Well, step up to the plate, big boy.
Prove yourself. But great.
Yeah. And that's all he wants to do, which is fine.
Yeah.
Have him start doing little stuff now. And then when Jake was 11, what I did was I took him, when he got $100 saved, I took him to the bank and had him open 2 accounts. So he started his savings mindset at 11 years old.
Yeah.
And I took him to the bank with $100, put $50 into savings, $50 into his little cash card. So he had a little teen credit card, and he's 11 years old. And it showed him how to manage his money, and it showed him how you can be a business owner, have fun, and fund all kinds of toys and experiences. But at the same point, you're putting money away for something really important. And that life lesson for him actually helped him save for his first truck. He had completely saved for it by the time he was 14 years old.
Wow. That's awesome.
That's really great.
Yeah. So, I have the kind of children that I can say it to them, but unless they hear it from somebody else, it really, I don't know if that's been an experience with your kids, but I have teenagers now. And I've had, when they get to be about, I mean, I had my son read it when he was younger, but when my daughter was 12, I had her read Richest Man in Babylon. Have you read that?
No.
So, and it's all it really is like, look, you set aside 10% for this, you set aside 10% for this, and it goes through all the things that are just like the very simplistic way that you build wealth over time. And part of it is just like you have money set aside that you don't spend, and you have money set aside that you give, and you have money set aside that you use for food and lodging and things. And if you do this consistently over time, and 10% is for investing and all these kind of, I can tell my children those kinds of things. But if I say it to them first and I say look, here's a book that's very famous that a lot of wealthy people recommend other people read it and see if it says the same thing that I'm saying. And then you have the option to implement it or not. So all of my kids read that book. And there's nothing special about it. It's a very, very simple book. Anybody can read it. But it's super helpful for young people to just go, oh, okay, so there's a plan. If I implement this plan, these will be the results by the time I'm 40. And it sounds like he's probably on that trajectory because he's learned how to manage his money at 17, which is crazy. Nobody learns that. I was still figuring it out when I was 30.
Yeah, well, yeah. A lot of people never figure it out.
But obviously.
So.
Well, I think the key is that sometimes when you put a little positive idea in their head, you do realize you're 11 years old, you could have your own business.
Yeah.
And they're like, really? They just don't even realize that there's an opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
And you can go on Vistaprint. You can help them get free business cards. Make little flyers and pass them out. It could be garbage can cleaning. It could be laying out mulch for neighbors. Little jobs. When people see kids working hard, and it's just like a little bit of work ethic, they want to give big tips.
Yeah.
So the thing about Jake is, it's not that he worked like a full-time job at 11.
Yeah.
I mean, he was working a couple of hours a day. But people saw how hard he worked during those few hours. And so they would say, hey, Jake, will you come help me put this mulch out? And he'd say, sure. What do you charge? And I always told him, if you're only 11, you ask the adult, what do you think is fair?
Yeah.
And so they would say, oh, I think it's fair to give you $40. He takes the $40.
Done.
And then you save it when you get to 100. And I made it real simple. I didn't do the 10% thing because he's not paying any bills.
Sure.
I told him, I said, look, if you want to have a lot of money when you're older and have financial security, you don't have any bills right now. Just put 50%, just split it right down the middle. And so he learned to save 50%. And I think that if more people used that kind of mindset with kids, we would have kids that wouldn't struggle coming out of high school. We would have kids that wouldn't struggle coming out of college. When he graduated 2020 in the middle of COVID. His teacher gave him a C in marketing and said, "You don't know how to do a business." And he said, "Well, that's funny because the business idea I wrote down is my real business. And by the way, I'm purchasing my first home this summer." And his teacher was like, "What?" He was 18. He purchased his home 6 weeks after graduation.
Wow.
In the Woodlands.
Oh my gosh. That's super cool.
So the sky's the limit for our kids. We just have to give them a chance and put it out there.
Yeah, there's got to be some push. So a little bit of initiative, but a little bit of parents going, "Look, you can do this."
Yeah, it's just positive reinforcement.
Absolutely.
It's positive reinforcement, and then creating, like, almost collaborating with your kids. Like, hey, I support you. You love dogs? Start a dog walking business.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, you love fishing? Start some sort of fishing research business. I mean, there's so many little businesses that older people would just be so impressed with the kid trying, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. No, what time we got here? 8:20. We gotta wind this thing down.
We gotta wrap it up.
Amy, if people want to get a hold of you, if they want to work with you, how do they do that?
My phone number is everywhere. They can literally call or text me at 832-457-0511. You can look me up on Facebook, Amy Lampman, on Instagram, the Lampman Home Team. And I'm literally the Lampman in town. If you're looking at real estate, I'm the one.
All right. Y'all have did you say a website?
Our website, amy.lampman@exprealty.com.
Okay. Very cool. Anything else?
I don't think so. I think that does it.
Thank you so much for sitting down with us. It's always good to see you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
So, what have we learned tonight, Kev?
We've learned that the longer you sit,
he had to ditch the stool.
The more uncomfortable that stool actually is.
I'm actually surprised my back is doing as well. I slept on the ground last night.
Yeah, you did.
And I'm surprised I'm not feeling it more than I am.
Yeah, I really am too.
So, well, let's give one thank you again to our sponsor for tonight, Lone Star Appliance Repair. Please reach out to them if you have any appliance needs. They will repair any of them, the Sub-Zeros, the LGs, the Samsungs, the KitchenAid.
All the ones that break.
All the ones that break. They'll get you taken care of. They might even save your life like they did mine.
It's possible.
And we'll have to find out if they have a maintenance plan. I would imagine they do.
Probably.
I'm just an uninformed consumer.
That's right.
And, yeah. Are you coming over?
Yeah.
Oh, come. Yeah, come on.
Grab
Please.
a seat.
So we're gonna change plans and not wrap up.
No, we're not. Go ahead and get those headphones on. They'll help.
There you go. Just got to put that out in front of you so if you can hear you, they can hear you.
All right. Well, I can hear myself then. So
Okay.
that works.
Yeah.
Good deal. Well, tell us about you. What's your name?
My name is Daniel,
All right.
and I work for Concrete Polishing and Prep Solutions.
Okay.
We are a nationwide supply house for decorative concrete, polishing, and coatings.
Okay, so you do all the supply. You don't actually apply the product. You
Correct.
just supply it.
Yeah, we just supply it. We do have our installers that we trust that we recommend on jobs. So,
Okay.
And I don't know what any of that is.
So, like when you go into Kroger's or H-E-B or Walmart, you know how all the floors look totally different now? That's a polished floor.
Okay.
So we sell the chemicals and tooling to get that done. And then let's say you have an outside patio, like a barbecue area, outside kitchen, and you want
garages.
Garages. We can help decorate that. We can make it look like wood, but you only use concrete.
Okay.
We can, flake your floors or do a cool metallic and make it look like a marbleized floor instead of just your standard plain boring concrete.
So is this different from like some of the coatings that people put on concrete, or is that?
That is what we supply.
That is what you supply.
That is what we supply.
Okay.
Correct. We have about 30 different manufacturers we are a distributor for, so we're very picky on who we bring into our company.
Okay.
Well, that's good
Yes.
because, here's the thing, because there's franchises out there that have been around for a long time that actually do incredible work, and they're using whatever supply that they use, but it's gonna be different than what you're gonna get at Home Depot, for example.
Oh, for sure.
Right? Yeah. And so, like, if you want to DIY this thing, you want to go out and you want to do it yourself, you can do that. But the product you're going to get, and we've talked about this before, even in your business, like what a consumer can purchase versus what a business owner can purchase is going to be different. Like, the chemical makeup is going to be different because that business has to know how to work with those chemicals, and they have to have a license to work with those chemicals. Correct. And all these sorts of things. So it's really important that business owners that are looking for a quality product know that the supply house that they're getting it from is actually helping them rather than giving them something that they could just go buy at Home Depot.
Yeah, exactly. And the cool thing about us is that we're not installers, and we do focus on just the supply side. And I'm actually very picky about what we bring. We actually just dropped the brand because we found out some things about them I personally didn't like and other people in our company didn't like. So we made a decision and we dropped that brand and we brought in another one that we did do research on, and we do know more of the things that made us not like that other brand to bring in this brand. Okay. So we're very particular.
And we don't want you to have to mention any names.
Yeah,
but what would make a brand not appealing that you're not having to sell that to your customers? Then? Like what?
Whenever that company will direct sell around their distributors and sell to someone they see is doing like $100,000 job here, a $250,000 job here, a $75,000 job here, you know, and they're like, well, don't buy from them, just buy straight from us. We don't want to deal with that, man. We're trying to have manufacturers who want to use as distributors,
right, and
not want to sell straight to people. And we're also doing the same thing. We're not trying to sell straight into the job. We want our installers to do it, and I want them to use us as like Batman has his utility belt, you know what I mean? Use us as a tool. Yeah. You know, because that's how we're using our manufacturers, as a tool. Right. You know, and I go above and beyond for my clients just like I expect my manufacturers to.
Yeah. I mean, there's some relationship there.
For sure.
And that makes a big difference. And also it's like, look, like I've got integrity in what I'm doing. So I need you to have integrity in what you're doing as well.
For sure.
So I think that's a big deal. It's like, you know, and I'll tell you right now, like, people are willing to buy from other people to take care of them.
Yes.
Yeah. And you know, I tell business owners from time to time, I'm look, people buy products, yes, but people buy from people.
Yes.
Okay, so like you have to recognize that the relation, like someone will pay more if they like you, just because they like you.
Yeah.
So that makes a big difference.
It really does.
I was kind of fishing to see if there's like any quality issues between the different supply.
That is a thing, and the biggest thing is right now is quality control. And whenever we're looking at our manufacturers, we're looking for that. We're looking for someone that's not just like, oh yeah, look at all this stuff we do, you know, just look at it, look at this, look at this, look at this. Well, I want to know more of all right, this is what our company's about. You know, I want to know what your foundation is. I want to know that you actually care about what you're doing and not just trying to make money.
Yeah.
Yeah, money's going to come and go, but I want to build an actual relationship. I want to know that you're going to do for me what I do for my guys.
Yeah.
You know, and, you know, like I said, the distributor we dropped, they just didn't do that. They didn't actually ever try to meet us halfway. They tried to strong arm us into things. And I'm just like, that's not what we need.
Well, yeah, and a lot of people just don't realize that like a relationship, you know, means 100 transactions instead of just that one where I took advantage of you, you know? And like, I don't know why people don't realize that. Like the relationship is like exponentially more valuable than that one time that you ripped somebody off.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing
on so many levels.
The thing my dad taught me when I was young was there's no such thing as a stranger. It's just a friend you haven't met yet.
Yeah.
And I've kind of taken that into my business life because, you know, I give everybody an opportunity to, you know, they'll get everything from me. My arms are always open wide the moment I meet you. But if you give me a reason to close my arms, I'm going to close my arms, you know. I can love you at a distance.
Yeah.
You know, I can work with you at a distance. But I'm not going to hook you up. When things go sideways, I'm not going to be there for you. But if you build an actual relationship with me, you're like, hey, man, this went sideways. I know some of the times, like, it is their fault, but they're coming to me, and I want to be there for them. Yeah. Just like I would want them to be there for me.
Right.
You know, so I always treat people the way I want to be treated, and you know, sometimes my bosses don't like that, but hey, you know, they're in New Jersey and Maryland. I'm in Texas.
There you go. We do things different here in Texas.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, we do.
Well, are there any new products or innovations that you're excited about in the floor coating?
Man, the biggest thing is that we're really just pushing a lot of polishing and one-on-one trainings, honestly. We're really trying to teach people in a one-on-one setting, because sometimes when there's a huge group, people are just on their phones. They feel like they're not getting the attention they want. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's actually what we've been focusing on this year. It's just one-on-ones. We want to teach you either on a job, at your warehouse, or at our warehouse. We want to be there. You know, we want attention to details is what we're looking for.
Let me ask you a question. And I have a reason for this question that we can talk about later. But do you feel like Texas, maybe not all of Texas, South Texas specifically, because that's where we live, do you think that people are just now learning about some of these floor coatings, especially like for like residential, for like garages and patios and those sorts of things?
Yeah.
Or is it something that you find people are like, yeah, it's been everywhere, we're good with it? What do you think is the...
So when it comes to South Texas, actually, in most of our border, there is nothing down there. The guys that we have down there, they're the only one within 50 miles.
Yeah.
So a lot of these people are seeing polishes for the first time outside of their grocery stores or their big businesses. You know, the residential stuff is polishing is starting to come up a little bit more on South Texas. And then what I've noticed a lot is that the epoxy is just blowing up in South Texas. We have a couple customers, you know, in South Texas that are just churning out floors that we were not expecting.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, yeah, we have a lot of business down here. And we're like, okay, cool. People say that. But, you know, it's just always slow trickle. But, man, these guys have just been churning floors out. What we've noticed a lot in South Texas is a lot of epoxy is starting to go on the outside. Mm-hmm. So people are starting to do their porches and their patios with flake. And that was not something that was really happening down here, you know?
Yeah.
Now we're starting to see that a lot. Yes.
There's a reason I'm asking that question. I'll tell you about it later. But I mean, you've confirmed to me that that's actually a thing.
It is.
That it's a new... It's like
newer.
It's a newer thing that people weren't
for the region. Yeah.
For the region. Whereas in other parts of the country, like, it's gangbusters.
Oh, yeah.
Especially like in the Northeast and like that area, like the floor coating business up there, from what I understand, is like ridiculously
That's
big.
where we originated from.
Okay, well,
the Northeast. So it makes sense.
Yeah.
So, and I have it. I heard a rumor about epoxy flooring that it's pretty much impervious to stains, except for mustard.
It's because of the acid in the mustard.
So it's true.
Actually, it is true. So what it is things with very high acidity will eat away at your top coat. But there are top coats that are specifically for those kinds of things. So like in kitchens and like, let's say, charging stations for your forklifts and stuff. There's a lot of battery acid.
Right.
You know? Kitchens, there's a lot of just acid in the foods. So there's just a very particular coating that you need to avoid that. But yes, that is a very common thing.
So say I want to mop my floors with mustard. What coating should I get?
I would recommend a polyurethane that is chemical resistant. So it's CRU, chemical resistance urethane.
Okay.
So that is what you would be using to avoid these stains. You know, the high traffic urethane is really what that is. So, you know, something that's always going to have a lot of people walking over it, or a lot of acid dropped on it.
Is polyaspartic also resistant, or is it also going to get eaten up by mustard?
It's going to be eaten up a little bit, but not as much as just plain epoxy.
Okay.
Yes. So polyaspartic and polyurethane they're your protective coatings for a reason.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm also a desk jockey more than anything because you know, I've never applied myself, but my rep and tech, Cliff.
You've never applied the product.
Yes, I've never applied the products outside of a training.
Yeah,
You
said I've never applied myself, and I don't believe that's true. That's what you said. I don't think that's what you meant.
No, you're correct. That is not what I meant. That is probably what I said, though. But yeah, so, you know, I read a lot of data sheets, and that's where I get my knowledge from.
Okay.
You know, I understand the products a little more only because I'm constantly reading things. You know, I want to see what the products were pushing on people. You know, my rep tech, Cliff, that guy, 20 years in the industry, just didn't want the wear and tear on his body anymore, so he moved to sales, and he's still helping people install, as in teaching them.
Okay.
So, you know, that's really where I would suggest if anybody has any of those kinds of questions, just to talk to that guy. Because like I said, I'm a desk jockey, you know what I mean? I'm behind my computer looking up a data sheet real quick because someone asked me a question.
Awesome.
Makes sense.
Well, I mean, if you're like a GC or a garage floor person or a patio person, like how do they get a hold of you to check out what you guys offer?
So our company name is Concrete Polishing and Prep Solutions. We're a quick Google search away. We're also on Facebook. Our Facebook page is Concrete Polishing and Prep Solutions Texas. Since we represent Texas, we kind of, I'm not going to lie, we kind of made ourselves a little stepchild of the company by putting Texas into our name, you know, but we're Texas.
Yeah.
Everything's bigger and better here.
It's not going to work here unless you do that.
Yeah, exactly.
They're going to see Maryland and they're like, we're out.
Wow. Yeah. Put Texas on it, you're going to sell it.
Yeah, for sure. And then our warehouse, you know, our actual store locations in Tomball. We're off of 2920 and 1478, I'm pretty sure is the major road next to us.
Okay.
So, you know, we're very accessible. Our store hours are 7:30 to 4:30.
So you guys have like
Friday.
a showroom people can come in and look? Okay, cool.
Exactly. You know, our showroom is more of our equipment that we sell and not the products that we sell. Because we do equipment, we do products, you know, anything you really need. If you need a truck to dump concrete, we're going to get you a truck to dump concrete.
All right.
You know what I mean? But, yeah, I really don't know what to say anymore, man.
I really wanted to like finger quote concrete. It sounds like if you need a truck to dump concrete. in the river, we're going to get you that truck
to cover up the things.
Exactly. I know a guy who knows a guy.
I know. There we go. That's right.
Well, if your company's out of Jersey, it's probably true.
That's right.
Yes, you already understand that.
That is true. Yeah.
Cool, man. Thank you so much for swinging by and talking to us and teaching us about this stuff,
That's
man.
awesome, man.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, I'm more of a desk jockey than anything. So if you actually want to learn more about what we have to offer, we are a levelings, coatings, and polishing supply house. So when it comes to epoxy, you know, decorative concrete, polishing equipment, we're here for you. We have plenty of people on our team outside of just the 2 people at our store. And we have plenty of experience.
Awesome.
Yeah,
cool,
for sure. Thank you so much for allowing me on here, guys.
Thank you for coming on, man.
Talk and ramble a little bit. Because
no, it's good.
Sometimes I lose myself.
No, it's what we do, too. Trust us. Hey, we do the same thing.
All right, well, y'all take care and
have a good one, man.
Have a good one. Thanks.
Well, dude, we've had a great night.
Yeah.
We're gonna cue the music.
Yeah. And if
look forward to the next one.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in, everybody that's tuned in. You know, we hope you've enjoyed it. We've enjoyed doing it. It's always fun here at Rowdy's with the Contractors Network. And,
it's getting a little rowdy in here right now.
It absolutely is. So find us on YouTube, catch us on Facebook, and yeah, if there's anything you need, hit us up. Until next time, we'll see you later.
See ya.